Dr. Atticus Brown was a former professor at Carter-Newell University in upstate New York. He was a very well-respected educator who was keen on astronomy and physics. Many called him the next Galileo. He taught his students the studies of space, along with different theoretical ideas about our galaxy and how to see it. Unfortunately, most students did not catch on, but several did. Christopher Harley, Tessa Walton, and William Neal Zellman were those several students. Chris and Tessa admired Brown's theories, utilizing his out-of-the-box thinking to develop programs and technological advances for research. But they did not attach to Brown as strongly as Zellman had. Zellman and Brown had become close friends, and they had talked for months about the possibilities of traveling into space without the use of a vehicle. One evening, Brown proposed an idea to Zellman. He showed him a rough drawing of a device. It was a round-like machine that was called, simply, the Space Teleporter. Brown explained an idea he had about how to send an organic object, like a human, to a different part of the universe through means of atom configuration, time acceleration, artificial bridges, and light-speed travel. Zellman was immediately won over, and so he asked Brown, "When do we begin?" After Zellman graduated from Carter-Newell University, he and Brown made their way to Lower Manhattan. They wanted to start work on this machine as soon as possible. Brown searched all over the city for a place to build the teleporter. Finally, he found the spot, located below the streets in an old, abandoned train station. Work soon began. A banking account was opened up to fund their ambition. Weeks and months of planning, research, and development went underway. Several years later, after multiple tests, they sent a chunk of stone to the surface of the moon. The space teleporter, renamed the Universe Machine, was now active. Though revolutionary, Zellman and Brown knew that the utilization of such a machine could become unhinged and exploited, so they kept it secret. Since the build, Brown and Zellman had developed more technology to explore space since they were not ready to depart themselves. They constructed a rover named Delver that was sent to capture photographs and gather samples. It eventually led to a model of a robot Zellman became extremely fond of. He called it Tracking Unit 717B, or Tracker. Around this time, Zellman had become a professor himself and started teaching his theories and ideas at the university based on his findings from the Universe Machine. He had won over inspired students, staff, even other astronomists and theorists. And it was beginning to rub Brown the wrong way. This was knowledge he thought he should be credited for, unfolding a lingering jealousy. It felt like his voice was being hushed by Zellman's more charismatic appeal and brilliant mind. Now Zellman was being called the next Galileo. Brown wanted that recognition back, and he knew how to get it. One night, Brown stormed into the Universal Observatory where Zellman was sampling dust from the surface of Mars. Brown demanded to be sent through the Universe Machine to capture and reveal evidence of his access to space. Zellman warned him it was not prepared for human travel just yet. It fell on deaf ears. Brown decided to do it all himself. He powered on the machine and stepped onto the launch pad. In a flash, Brown had teleported himself too. Well, no one knew. His coordinates weren't locked onto. Zellman didn't know what to do, but for a while, he put a hold on anything related to the Universe Machine. The shock and sadness was too much to handle. He continued to teach at the university in the interim and reconnected with Chris and Tessa. At that time, The married couple moved to California for a job at the Griffith Observatory. They had a daughter, Jenna Adrienne Harley. Unfortunately, Chris's mother needed help and care. The couple decided to move back to New York to take care of her. Because Zelman and the Harleys were close, Zelman became a family friend. Jenna had grown up with Zelman most of her life and admired him. She soon became enamored with astronomy, science fiction, and the ways outer space was portrayed in the media. Jenna began gaining mentorship from the doc, and together, they theorized ideas on how to make the impossible possible. Zelman was fond of her strong curiosity and relentless ambition. Eventually, Jenna had become the doc's apprentice. He soon decided that it was time to show her the universe machine. It blew her away. From tracker and delver to the control deck and equipment. He confessed that he hadn't utilized the machine all too much since an incident, but he made a promise to return to it one day with her. He lived up to his promise, and both the doc and Jenna utilized the universe machine once again. She even learned how to operate it herself. But that incident had eaten away at Zelman. There was no closure, but he knew how to get it. Zelman had directed Jenna away from the observatory and began to modify the machine to safely transport a human. It was successful, taking Tracker with him on several test missions, developing an exosuit to adapt to most environments of a planet, and initiating Mission Red, research, explore, and discover. He soon knew it was time. Jenna is notorious for being headstrong and stubborn, traits that the doc knew all too well. He had written a letter to Jenna and asked Tracker to give it to her as soon as he departed. In it, he noted that he would be away for an indiscernible amount of time, but to stay curious about the universe, and lovingly thanked her for her help and friendship. He then trusted Tracker to enable a padlock on the universe machine after he departed, to prevent Jenna from following him, as he suspected she would. Zelman was now away on a mission to get back his friend and mentor. Tracker was successful at ceasing all functions to the universe machine, but in doing so, the doc's coordinates were now lost. Now concerned for the doc's well-being, Tracker went to Jenna for help. Tracker found Jenna at her home and delivered the letter. She was devastated. They had done a lot together for a long time. They had tested theories and unlocked new mysteries, researched and discovered new secrets the universe held. Even going to the nearby bodega for a late-night hot dog and mango smoothie felt significant. She lost her best friend. Jenna and Tracker decided to go back to the observatory. She realized that she could not operate anything. And that's when Tracker told Jenna about padlocking the universe machine to prevent her from following him. But they both knew the doc could be in trouble now. And it was then Jenna made the call to find the doc out there in space and fulfill the mission he wanted, to research, explore, and discover what lies amongst the stars. The universe machine was coming back online, and this time it was going to be rebuilt, bigger and better than ever before.